Long before humans existed, one enormous predator ruled this dangerous and unforgiving prehistoric valley. Tyrannosaurus rex follows a fresh trail, using scent and vibration to locate movement hidden beyond the trees. A faint smell reaches the predator, suggesting that large animals passed through this forest only moments earlier. The giant advances carefully, conserving energy while remaining prepared to attack anything that reveals weakness. Beyond the trees, enormous herbivores feed in the open, protected more by size than by speed. Brachiosaurus reaches food no other creature can touch, towering above the forest like a living mountain. The gentle giant senses danger and watches the valley before deciding where the herd should move. The herd responds without panic, using coordinated movement to increase the distance from the approaching predator. T-Rex enters the open land, but the towering herd is already moving beyond easy striking distance. The roar announces dominance, warning every creature that the valley's most dangerous hunter is now active. Far downstream, a mammoth matriarch hears the warning and immediately becomes alert to the danger. The matriarch chooses a safer route, leading the young away from the open ground near the predator. Every adult remains close to the calves, forming a moving barrier of fur, muscle, and ivory. Hidden nearby, Smilodon watches the herd and searches for a single young animal to fall behind. The saber-toothed hunter moves silently, knowing that one careless sound will destroy the entire ambush. It follows from cover, matching the herd's speed while waiting for the protective formation to weaken. A calf loses balance for a moment, creating the first opportunity the hidden predator has been waiting for. The herd closes the gap immediately, removing the opening before Smilodon can begin its attack. The hunter abandons the attempt, understanding that attacking several alert adults would be almost certainly fatal. Smilodon changes direction, searching for smaller prey hidden inside the quieter and more protected forest. Fresh tracks reveal that a group of smaller herbivores recently passed through this shaded corridor. The tracker follows each mark carefully, staying downwind so its presence will not be detected by the target. At last, the hunter finds vulnerable animals that remain completely unaware of the danger behind them. Its body tightens like a spring as it prepares to release all its speed in one charge. Before the attack begins, a distant roar breaks the silence and warns every animal in the clearing. The prey escapes before Smilodon moves, leaving the hungry hunter with another failed opportunity. The cat climbs higher to locate the source of the roar before choosing its next movement. The T-Rex has followed the same prey trail and is now approaching the Smilodon's position. Smilodon retreats toward a narrow opening that the much larger predator cannot enter. Inside the rocks, the smaller hunter gains protection from size, strength, and those enormous jaws. The predator locates Smilodon's hiding place, but the stone walls prevent it from moving farther. For the first time, the giant's massive body becomes a disadvantage instead of its greatest weapon. A new sound draws the creature away from the rocks and toward the nearby river. T-Rex leaves Smilodon behind and follows the splashing toward another possible hunting opportunity. The cat waits for silence before risking a return to the dangerous open forest. Smilodon sees the predator leaving and decides to follow from far behind without revealing itself. At the river, the matriarch tests the bottom before allowing the vulnerable calves to enter. She checks whether the ground is stable enough to support the weight of the entire herd. The path holds firm, and the experienced leader begins guiding the herd across the current. The adults surround the young, creating a defensive wall that moves slowly through the water. Beneath the crossing, Sarcosuchus detects the vibrations and awakens from its concealed resting place. The river predator begins approaching silently, using murky water to hide its armored body. It follows the strongest vibrations, searching for the smallest animal inside the protective formation. A slippery stone causes one calf to fall behind, creating a sudden and dangerous opening. The ambush predator identifies the weakness and prepares to launch from the darkness below. Sarcosuchus attacks with terrifying speed, covering the final distance before the calf can escape. The matriarch reacts instantly, placing her own body between the predator and the helpless calf. A powerful tusk strike redirects the crocodilian's jaws before they can reach living flesh. The blow forces the river monster away and breaks the momentum of its carefully timed attack. While the matriarch holds the predator back, another adult lifts the calf onto stable ground. Outnumbered by angry adults, Sarcosuchus recognizes that continuing the attack would bring serious injury. The wounded hunter retreats beneath the current, abandoning the calf and preserving its own life. The herd reforms immediately and continues moving, refusing to leave the shaken calf behind. The matriarch reaches safety, but remains alert, knowing the river may hide more danger. Moments later, T-Rex finds the crossing and confirms that the mammoth herd passed recently. The hunter sees signs of movement beyond the water and prepares to continue the pursuit. The injured river predator surfaces directly in the T-Rex's path and refuses to surrender the channel. Two dominant hunters now face each other at the exact border between land and water. Sarcosuchus approaches from the safety of deeper water, testing whether the larger predator will advance. T-Rex strikes first, but the river hunter remains just beyond the reach of its jaws. A sudden tail strike reveals how dangerous Sarcosuchus becomes inside its own aquatic territory. The land predator retreats before the unstable riverbed turns strength into a fatal disadvantage. The confrontation ends without victory, as both predators choose survival instead of unnecessary injury. T-Rex searches for a safer crossing that will allow the pursuit to continue on solid ground. The predator tests each stone carefully before trusting its enormous body to the narrow route. The hunter reaches the opposite side and returns to the mammoth trail just as the sky changes. Higher in the forest, the mammoths continue climbing, while strange ash begins covering the ground. The matriarch recognizes the heavy rhythm and understands that the land predator has crossed the river. She guides the herd into a passage where the predator cannot attack from several directions. The adults create a solid defensive wall, while every calf remains hidden behind their bodies. T-Rex finds the herd, but the narrow terrain has transformed the mammoths into a powerful barrier. The hungry predator tests the formation, searching for fear, hesitation, or one unprotected opening. The herd answers as one, proving that any attack will meet several tons of muscle and ivory. The predator finally abandons the hunt, unwilling to risk a serious wound against the united adults. Subscribe for more prehistoric creatures ancient survival stories, and terrifying battles from Earth's forgotten past.